Welcome to the Childcare Genius podcast, the world's leading authority on childcare marketing, mindset, expansion, and profitability. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Childcare Genius Marketing. Let Childcare Genius Marketing help you get fully enrolled and fully staffed. Visit childcaregenius.com for more details. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
Hello, welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Duprey.
So excited to be with you here today. It is ABC week. What is that? Ask Brian and Carol. So you, as the listener, get to decide what we're going to talk about today. So we've got some questions that came in from our audience from around the country, and we will read the question and we'll talk about the answer on the air today. We have 2 different questions from actually 2 different parts of the country, and we're going to talk about them today. So the first question is, how do I determine the right tuition rates to stay competitive while remaining profitable? Oh, this is a good one, Carol. We get this a lot. We have had clients undercharging, more so than overcharging,
Right.
in certain markets for sure. And trying to find that sweet spot on tuition. We've had clients not raise tuition for years, and they're behind the 8 ball. So let's just basically talk about how to set the right tuition rates, and then we'll help you to adjust your tuition if it's not the right one.
I would say that first thing you want to do is check with other centers in the area, see what they charge. Most centers will tell you their rates if you ask. Some advertise them online. And then determine what you want to be. You don't want to be the lowest, but you don't want to be the highest unless you have unique things that other people don't have.
For sure.
So you should try to be probably middle to a little bit above the middle, to compared to what other centers are in your area. And also look at different factors, whether you have a lot of home daycares in your area that charge really low rates. They're completely separate markets, so I wouldn't compare them at all.
No, apples to apples. Make sure it's about the same. If you're a Christian program, say, try to get other Christian programs. If you're Montessori, try to compare yourself to other Montessori. So try to make it as much of an apples to apples comparison as you can. Now, you don't have to be deceptive here. We actually call around our competitors. We tell them who we are and what we're looking for. We're actually honest up front. We get that idea from years ago from, I think it was The Wire, somebody called us and wanted to know what they said. Here are our rates. Here's what we're increasing to in January. We want to know where you're going to be in January. They just wanted to be able to know where everybody was, and they were honest about it. So I'm like, that's a great idea. No sense to be deceptive. And if they get offended by it, then you can mystery shop them and have somebody else call them. But I think they'll appreciate the fact that you're being open and honest.
Yep.
And it's also a good way for us to, when we call them, we say, listen, we're raising our rates to X on January 1. We'd like to know where you're going to be on January 1. It's letting them know that we're doing this nice big increase. Hey, I expect you to be doing somewhat of a similar increase so that I'm not too much of an outlier. And it gives you kind of permission to raise your rates in between.
Yeah, we actually have a pretty good relationship with most of the centers in our area, and we're open about rates and what we pay employees and everything.
Yeah, you just can't get together. You can't get every center and area together and say, okay, let's all raise our rates by $50 because that's illegal.
Right.
Unfair competition. There's monopoly rules. You just can't do that. But you can like be the trendsetter that says, listen, we're doing this. We'd like to know what you're going to do as well. But it's always good to know where you are and do that every single year. Whatever you do, don't try to be the bottom. Unless you're the absolute worst childcare center in the area, then maybe that's it. But I'm sure if you're listening to this podcast, you're not. And I'm not saying not to be the best one in your area. You can be
Right.
the top one if you have the top program for sure.
Exactly.
And you are the one that everybody else chases, and that's perfectly okay to do that in your market. Be the one at the top where everybody else is chasing. But supply and demand. Here's another thing, Carol. If you're full with a wait list, you can increase your rates more than
Right.
if you're not.
Right.
Supply and demand. If you've got a wait list a mile long for infants, you
Hmm.
should be stepping on the gas with infant rates because you have somebody that leaves, you replace them with somebody on your wait list for a higher amount. So supply and demand is what should warrant an increase as well. Let's just say you were real light on preschoolers. Remember one year that we didn't raise our preschool tuition at
Right.
all because we were struggling on the preschool side, but we raised infants and toddlers because of supply and demand. We had the
Right.
need to raise the rates there. So the raise on the infants and toddlers made up for what we'd lost by not increasing on the preschool side.
Yep.
So I think every age group has to stand on its own when it comes to determining your rate increase. Don't just do, okay, we're raising 3% across the board. Nope. You might raise 8% on preschoolers, 5% on toddlers, and 2% on preschoolers based on needs, waiting
Right.
list, market, what else. There's so many different factors.
Right.
Just don't automatically paint a broad brush and 3% every year, no questions asked.
And it's different every year.
Yeah.
Like we went through a few years where infants were low because birth rates were low.
Yes.
So increasing our infant rates would have not been a good idea, or increasing them a lot,
Yes.
because they could have gone to another center.
Right.
So it really depends. Every year is going to be different.
And you know your parents, but don't ever use it as a reason not to. You may have three or four people complain and 100 people not. Don't use the three or four. Don't let the tail wag the dog.
Right.
And don't let it say, well, I'm not going to raise my rates on everybody because I know three or four people are going to leave or three or four people are going to complain. You just replace those three or four people, and the revenue you're going to make with the other 98% of the people will well make up for the couple
Hmm.
that decide to leave over price.
Right.
And make sure you just make sure you're worth it. Make sure the value's there. And I'm sure your two teachers are going to want to raise of 2-3% each year. So you have to at least minimum try to get a 3% overall. It could be 8 on one, 5 on the other, and nothing at preschool. That still averages over 3%. You
Right.
don't want to go backwards every single year.
Yeah.
All right, that's good question. Good answer. Thank you for that question from Kansas. Appreciate that. All right, the next question. Find my notes here. How do I design a referral program that actually motivates current teachers to recruit? All right, great question,
Mm.
Jessica. I love that. How do I design a referral program that actually motivates current parents to recruit? Your current parents are your number one best advocate, but a lot of times they won't be your advocate without a little maybe incentive,
Yeah.
financial, cash. Give them a reason to promote you. Because people don't just out of the kindness of their heart go tell 20 strangers and friends about you.
If you look on almost every website, you see a lot more negative than positive. But because if something bad happens, they tell everybody. But if something good happens, they don't tell people unless they ask.
Yeah, my friend Joel and I were riding the other day and I asked SIRI, I can't say it because my phone will grab it. But I asked her, I said, can you find me the nearest Dunkin' Donuts? And she was saying, well, this Dunkin' Donuts got a 2.8 on Yelp. And he's like, what's Yelp? I was like, it's a place where people go and complain when they don't like service, right?
Right. Yeah.
People never go to Yelp to tell the world how good things are. They go there to complain about something, right?
Right.
So it's easier to complain than it is to compliment. So your parents are kind of probably the same way. They're
Right.
not going to tell their friends, but if you paid them a free
Yeah.
week or $100 cash or a
Yeah.
massage or nails done or something good, it's going to give them a reason to go tell all their
Yeah.
friends because they want a free week, they want the $200, and
Yeah.
we like to give cash,
Yeah.
$100 cash, $200 cash. Cash is king. Cash does not have to be reported to the husband, I found out.
Yeah. Or wife.
No, most guys would tell their wives. Most women wouldn't tell a husband. They're getting their nails done. They're gonna spend that money on the spa. The husband's not gonna know about that. Uh,
Okay. That's a little stereotyping, but
all right. Because guys have their allowance, right? Maybe that'll increase. Maybe there are a few guys out there. So forgive me, guys, for selling you under the bus here, saying that you would always tell your wife. I know some of you are dishonest out there. I would, of course, tell you, baby, after I spent it. But anyway, use that as an incentive. Give them reward. Have a strong referral program at your school. Reward them and have contests as well. Have contests. If you get 6 referrals and people enroll, you get X amount.
And you can do drawings
For
Yeah.
that too. So just give people a reason to tell their friends. And I think the biggest reason their child gets to play with their friends
Right.
from another school. Like that's the biggest thing is his biggest selling point is your children get to play with people who they're already friends with.
Right.
If you enroll them, from your church group or from your mommy group or your play date group or whatever, bring them into your school, and that's familiarity.
Yeah.
And I think people will be excited about that.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
so that is it for the 2 questions that we had answered today. This is Ask Brian and Carol on the Child Care Genius podcast. We do this the first podcast of each month on Tuesday, and we read at least 2 or 3 questions on the air, of questions that you have sent us, an audience. If you would like your question answered on the air, send me an email, Brian, Brian, at childcaregenius.com. Let me know you'd like answered. I'll be sure to answer that call on the air. And if we can help you out in any way, listen, if there's anything I can do to help you out, if you go to my website, I'll give you a free coaching call. I will work with your center owner in the United States. You're licensed for at least 50 kids. I will spend half hour, 45 minutes. I will help you out on any topic that you're struggling with. Just go to my website at childcaregenius.com. Go to the coaching tab, say I'd like a free coaching call. Find my link there and book a call with me. I will help you in whatever area you are struggling in. All right. Well, this concludes this episode of the Child Care Genius podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Child Care Genius podcast. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Child Care Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.